Shalom, Israel, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I love to give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rahadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Scholarships 100% truth. Shalom to the whole elect. Shalom to all the Akim, the truth and sincerity. Shalom to the sincere, Akbar, the Libya of the Watchman Learning. So, brother, you call from the GMS Comes Ohio branch. Coming back again with another lesson with the Spirit. And I kind of had this lesson put together a little bit ago. I was just in the spirit this morning on my way to work, so I was like, let me just go ahead and go into it a little bit. Um, Not sure how far I'm gonna go with it, but neither here nor there. If they gotta make another video, I will. But I had it entitled "Our People," which we know to be the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans of this world. All right, our people uh don't see themselves in a glorious estate. All right. Our people have a thing with defending Esau, right? Which is a so-called white man, okay, red man. All right. When it comes to the so-called you-know-who's in the land of Israel, you know, um, they feel as if they are the people, or you know, you can just see in Jake's spirit, like they don't see themselves being the chosen people, okay? And it shows the lack of knowledge and understanding that our people have. You know, our people are afraid to rise up and go against the system, go against what's put in place. And even when you think about the prophets, they would love to tell us in our face, you ain't no prophet, you ain't this, you ain't that, you know. But let Esau be out on the corner or in a church or somewhere speaking, and they put their words together so eloquently. You see, they'll be so quick to say, "Yeah, he ain't a prophet." They wouldn't dare buck up and say anything to Esau about what they pushing, or Jacob put a celebrity on a pedestal, and say, "Oh well, because they spoke some wise words, they're prophets." Okay, but ain't none of these people speaking about prophecy. See, but will be quick to shoot us down. People are mind blown when they hear you say, "Hey, we the gods, we this, we that, we the prophets." All right, we servants of the Lord, right? Because they may have known you in your past, whatever the case may be. But like I said, they don't see us in a glorious estate. All right, they don't see us being those men. Okay, they don't see us being holy and being great, being the greatest people on earth, which we are. They don't see those things, man. Okay, they see us being niggas and being under submission to Esau, man. And that highlights that Stockholm syndrome. All right, that Jake has. All right, the love for their oppressors. You see, and they've taken on the fashions and the ways of everything that this man does. All right, and they run with it. All right, and any little leeway that they get from this man, they think that they are on top of the fucking game. The whole time it's just part of Eve's plan. And I'm gonna jump in right here. Hosea 4:6 classic. I just got a few classic presets lined up, just highlighting 2/3 of our people in how they just don't have no knowledge, no understanding, no true understanding of the world, no true understanding of the scriptures whatsoever. All right, our people got all this zeal, which they do. you know. But they follow after shit that is not real. All right, they follow after something that is made up, that's not even proven. Okay. Let me jump in here. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. See, destroyed. Our people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And that's so evident in the world we live in. Why do you think our people can't rise up and do nothing? Of course, we're under the curses. All right. So that plays a heavy part in it as well. You know, man, our people are so down in the dumps, man. And there's so many different levels to Jake. So many different levels of dumb. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. You know, the ones that are knowledgeable according to the world, no benefit. All right. They use their worldly knowledge to try and combat. All right. Then you got the Jake in the hood, you know what I'm saying, that don't know shit, grew up in the Baptist church or whatever, right? Think they know a little something. Like Jake is just easy. Jake is easy going as hell, man. You know, but hey, they won't listen to us. Like I said, because thou hast rejected knowledge, which they reject. All right. Says, I will also reject thee. But thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. That's why 2/3 of our people got to go, because they don't want to listen. They don't want to learn. All right. Let me go here and see what I got, because I wanted something else. Let me see. Let me get that Zechariah. 7. Yep. Zechariah 7:11. It says, but they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears that they should not hear. Our people do that all day. Pull away. I don't want to hear that, you know? And I know we've all dealt with that in the beginning stages of our truth, you know what I'm saying? Trying to wake up our families. Some of us are women, you know, trying to make her, you know, this Israelite woman that, you know, we could grow with, whatever. You know, we know soon in the truth that don't work out. All right. You know, because a lot of these women, majority of these women ain't in the spirit. All right. And that's why when Jake get on their videos, you know, the few Aquaf, the few sisters, all right, because it's very few that listen, and then there's some that even listen, but it's even fewer that actually hearken and try to live a life. Because a lot of our women will be with a brother or something, and then be following the ways, and then they'll get out and say, "Oh, I was in a cult," and they do that across the board with all the camps. IUICs, all them different camps. Even though they be going off too, but still, they be our women are through, so through. And why? Because they're destroyed for a lack of knowledge. You tell them, hey, at the end of the day, I can have multiple wives. That's the main thing that trip them up and they be salty about. And then you have shorties in the world on Instagram or somewhere. They'll make a video, just pretty much explaining it, and then they'll be talking shit about them in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Talking shit about them in the comments, this, that, and the third, because they don't agree. They don't agree with the fact of glorious men, us men having a plethora of women, all right, which it makes sense. All right, they don't want to women our women don't want to cleave to the fact that you're supposed to be submissive unto your husband. All right. You were supposed to tend to the children, do things at the house, etc. Okay, of course we know the world is different these days. It's a lot harder in different ways. Okay, a lot of our women grew up not learning how to do a lot of these, womanly things. All right. We understand that there are a lot of men out here that are not shit. All right. But at the end of the day, serve your man, especially if you got a good man, especially if you got a man that works hard, that tries. All right. If you got a good man, you need to be doing your part as a woman. All right. It's that simple. Our people on both ends, even the men, our men don't take care and do certain shit that they used to. Like on both ends, what I'm saying, our people have fell short. All right. Fell way short. All right. In our duty. Okay. Because our people have lost the knowledge of the scriptures. And when you try to tell somebody about what's supposed to be done, how we should be moving, how we should be doing this thing, doing this life thing until we get up out of here, they don't want to listen. They so stuck on what they've learned growing up over the years, being indoctrinated, all right, by Esau and his ways and his fashions and the way that this world is ran. Why do you think we got to this point in the first place? Why do you think they took Jake Fathers out the homes? Okay. That's why you see, what I'm saying, the black woman was the CIA's biggest weapon to us as a community, bro. All right. They've done everything they can to systematically turn our women against us. All right. And men went on about their fucking business. All right. Now all the relationships is toxic. Don't nobody love each other. Ain't nobody taking care of each other. None of that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's bad, man. It's bad. On all fronts. And why is that? Because the knowledge in this world has decreased. All right. This world is filled with a worldly level of knowledge. All right. We live in the information era, so the information is there. We got Google, we got Chat GBT, AI, all this shit. Okay. But what does it amount to? What does it amount to? Nothing. It's like, yeah, I'm at work. This dude. Fuck do you want? It's like, what up? What's going on?
You know anything?
No.
All good? All right,
No.
I was about to head up to the job site, so I'll meet you there.
All right. Right. So like, I don't like people. Man, but let's get a few more scriptures, man. What I want to grab. Um, Let me get that Matthew, because that's the point we really at right now. Was it Matthew 15:14? Oh, am I tripping? Yep. Matthew 15, verse 14, it says, let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Okay. And that's going on so heavily. Okay. You got, and I know this dealing with certain women, majority of the women, they're sitting at home, they're watching these podcasts with these girls, just sharing their thoughts and how they think and how they view life and this and that, and taking the information that they're given, what I'm saying, and doing this, that, and the third. It's like, wow, you know, uh, you women are cleaving to some BS that this other bitch is talking about that they probably got indoctrinated by, what I'm saying, Esau and his ways and his fashions. All right. Then you got these Christianity, which is the biggest deceiver. All right. In my personal opinion, just evaluating life and the world. You know what I'm saying? Christianity is the broadest religion. All right. known to man, and it's so every and the things that they teach is so false. Beginning with the names, you got God and you got Jesus Christ, which is false. All right, the Father's name is Yahweh, and His only begotten Son's name is Yahweh Shai, and that goes back to the ancient Paleo Hebrew. All right, the language that would have been spoken since the beginning. All right, so just to get that straight, but there's a lot of blind people. You got to understand that Esau took our religion and took our fashions of life and twisted the scriptures, all right, and made it their own. All right. These other heathen nations have taken on the ways of our life, all right, and how we are supposed to lead a life. That's why you see these Somalians and all these different religions, they're wearing, their women are wearing the full hijab joints and all that, hair covered, you know, this, that, the third, you know what I'm saying? Their men have multiple women, you know what I'm saying? They making money, sending money here, sending money there, you know what I'm saying? Going out, sojourning, making money, you know what I'm saying? They've taken on our whole fashion of life, and look at us, destroy in the hood, all right? Or living in a neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? Next to E, trying to be cool, trying to be buddy buddy, trying to be on the good side of this white man. You know what I'm saying? It's hell. It's hell. You know? Like I said, the blind leading the blind. You got blind, false leaders. All right, even in these Israelite camps, you got certain Israelite camps that are going off, leading our people into a ditch. Right? A lot of people don't want to come to GMS and hearken to the words that we speak because they can't handle it. You know, these other camps ain't realistic. All right, and they don't got the 100% truth. Okay, people don't want to respect order and none of that. When scriptures speak about that, respecting order, being in order. Okay, but our people don't want to get out. Our people don't want to do what we're taught. Why? Because our people have been destroyed for years and years and years. All right, and when true knowledge comes to your doorstep, you reject it. Okay, let's get that Jeremiah real quick. 5:3. Yeah. Jeremiah 5:3 says, "O Yahweh, are not thine eyes upon the truth? Thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved. Thou hast consumed them, but they have refused to receive correction." Wow, our people have been tore up from the flow up. Our people have been destroyed, man. And yet they still don't want to get right. You still don't want to get right. You still don't want to go to understand. You still don't want to hearken to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua. Why? Because you got all these different things swarming your view. You got this person this, you got this person saying that, you got that religion saying this, you got that religion saying that, you got your auntie saying this, you got your uncle saying that, you got your cousin, you got your brother, you got this, you got that, you got social media killing your brain. All right, you got all these things, right? All these things in the midst, destroying you and pulling your mind farther and farther and farther and farther and farther away from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All you've been through, all the pain, all the suffering, you still don't want to get it. This truth is the only thing that's valid, that makes sense. When you go into the scriptures in its entirety and you're able to understand it, it makes all the sense as to why we are, where we are, how we are. See? Let's finish off this verse. It says, "They have made their faces harder than a rock. They have refused to return." See? And this goes way back, man. Egypt, people get delivered. Oh, they want to go back. Now they worshiping the Pharaoh. They doing like, man, our people have been the same way for so long. It's sad at this point. It's very sad, you know. But hey, they got to keep pushing. All right, and that's why when you come in this truth, you got to be ready to let go of your family and everything, because them gonna be the ones to pull you away. You feel me? Like them gonna be the ones to have you, going with this with the shit that they going with, man, or to have you frustrated as hell because your people don't get it. They don't want to get it. They're not trying to get it. You know, it's just another burden, man. So it's best for us to just let go. Just let go, man. Because majority of our people are not going to get it. They're not going to understand. They're not going to change their lives. They're not going to try and even learn. They're always going to be on the fence. Always going to be on the fence. Of course, the scriptures speak about 11th hour. Jake, that come in after us so long, at the end, what I'm saying, and they finally actually believe when they start to see certain shit. But, it's like, damn, it's right here. Scriptures say you make no tarrying, but turn to the Lord. It's saying, Isaiah, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Fuck are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? Let's see what else I got here. Oh, yeah, let me get to Isaiah too. Isaiah 30. Isaiah 30, verse 1. It says, woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. Destruction to the rebellious children, man. Our people are rebels to society, rebels to the truth, I should say, that take counsel, but not of me. Our people don't take counsel from the Lord. Our people don't listen to what the Lord would want. Our people don't listen to, you know, how the Lord will have things done. Our people don't listen to that, but will go listen to their boss at work, but will go listen to their best friend or some shit. Go listen to somebody that ain't got it for real. But because they may speak a certain way, they think they got it. Good job, you know? Way to be led astray, you know? Why is that? Lack of knowledge. See? Let me get verse 2 as well. Hold on, let me go back real quick. It says, not covered with a covering, but not of my spirit. Our people ain't covered with the Rahakodash, the Holy Spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They're not covered. Their covering lies in Jesus Christ, Jehovah. What else you got? Buddha, Allah, Muhammad. You know what I'm saying? That's where their covering lies. See? Their covering don't lie with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And soon, all these different people and religions will see. We'll all see what the truth was all this time. We'll all see. We'll all see. And like I said, that they may add sin to sin, you just piling up, piling up, piling up. You don't even know, but hey, them leaders that are leading you astray, they gonna get it too. Just how to set up. Verse 2, it says that walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt, relying on this system, going out of their way in this system to make a way. They trust in this place. Our people's trust and hope lies in this place. It's just reality, man. You know, and we can't change it. End of the day, you know. So for us, Jake and the truth, saying that serve the Lord, you know, hold on tight, saying, and keep pushing, keep the faith, and don't let these wicked niggas, these 2/3, trick you out your spot. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be ready to pull away at any time by any means necessary. All right. But that's it. We will know edifying. Give our praise, honor, and glory again unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Rakahakadash. Double honors again to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Say Shalom and Abba Ball.